fucking game. Oh yeah, didn't they say they're not gonna raise the prices on their games? It's like the only good thing they've ever seen. Damn. Squadrons. This came out during the pandemic. And it kind of came and went. I don't remember people talking too much about it. I know it seemed cool because like they had like rebellion and empirical campaigns. Well, but yeah, like I said, it kind of came and went. I think it was like they criticized it for having a short campaign or some shit. It seems like there were some early woke elements. Whoa. Vash Exalta. Tavana Trance. The fuck? What are these names? Customize? You will alternate between the perspectives. Oh, you can change it. Well, it looks like a Sikander. What are these faces? Wow, okay. They have body type A and B in this shit. How do I know which is which? Is this a dude? I think so.
We can do this.
We can do this. I won't let it.
I've never been more ready.
Another day.
There have been worse ideas. I can't.
I'm game if you are.
This deal's getting worse all the time.
Someone's got to do it. Why me?
That's all.
Think I'm gonna enjoy this.
What the fuck? He's like a country
I'll
accent.
outfly any Imperial pilot. Just watch me.
Let's do the veteran. Fuck it. Fuck this shit. Fuck this rebellion. Change name. Dantooine. Dantooine Skywalker. Because we're all Skywalkers, remember, after Rey. He's fine. But yeah, so I already did my review of Andor and Rogue One, so I'll throw that in here at some point. But yeah, oh yeah, I'm gonna try this in VR. I'm gonna get to fly an X-Wing and shit. It'll be sick. I'm gonna do a title crawl. Oh shit. More copyright. Oh, they skipped it. Nice. Whoa.
Alderaan chose destruction.
Still images? What the fuck?
They incited rebellion and anarchy. And paid
It's a weird voice.
The survivors continue to spread dissent. Find them. Do not rest until the destruction of Alderaan is complete.
Alderaan. Damn, that was kind of cheap. Oh.
Lord Vader's orders are clear.
Are they?
Yes.
Dude,
wipe
so
out all that
like
remains
none of the
Alderaan.
story is in VR.
I understood the survivors were.
I guess it's just the gameplay.
Intelligence reports a possible Alderaanian convoy heading
That's
towards
whack.
Starhaven. You are to draw them out and finish them off. Do you understand that, Captain?
Perfectly. Commodore Slow.
Dismissed.
What? Okay. Was that supposed to mean something?
Captain James.
Oh shit, dude.
Everything ready, Lieutenant Carroll?
Squadrons
Yeah,
on
it's
their
hella
way.
woke.
They're excited to
I don't,
fulfill things they want.
Did you?
This is in-game footage,
No
but it's
qualms
still
taking
not
down refugees
in
from a world
VR.
we destroyed?
During the Iskalon uprising, you taught me to ignore propaganda. They're traitors, not refugees, and will be dealt
You're
with
taught.
accordingly. I've prepped our usual Sigma
Taught
9
like a
loadout.
tiger.
No. Only standard ties today.
Flying old school, sir. This might be a real challenge after all.
What is this shit?
You hear me, Teresa? But I don't think you understand me. I guess we'll find out.
Some good eyebrow acting.
Follow my lead. And don't fire unless I give the order. The convoy is out there. We don't want to scare them off. Let's do this right.
And the dude's hair is crazy. It's like all
Another
one piece.
victory is at hand.
Oh shit, here we go. Prepare for lunch. Can't walk around. That was pretty cool. Whoa. Oh shit. Wow, so you really don't use the fucking hand controllers, whatever the fuck, motion controllers. Alright, so I had to pull myself away from finishing A New Hope to talk about Andor.
Begin pre-flight checks.
I talked about how, like, the real success of the show is,
All right.
like, making the Empire, like, evil again, making them intimidating, you know? But I think another
All systems up and
success is also, like, making Rogue One better and making you want to watch
flight complete.
the original trilogy, so
Lock onto my fighter.
in that respect I think that's even more awesome. It's the sign of a good sequel or prequel or whatever if
Online and tracking.
it makes you
Now.
want to watch the original shit and enriches the experience of watching it. So yeah, I watched the Andor finale last night and half of Rogue One, and then I came home and watched the rest of Rogue One in, like I said, like an hour and a half of New Hope. So yeah, I played Super Star Wars on PS4 about 4 or 5 years ago or whatever. But I didn't do it on camera. But I figured maybe instead of like playing it again, I might just like do a review and put that over and like, you know, edit together that gameplay. Or I might play it, I don't know. It was hard as fuck though, I couldn't beat it without save states. But I bought
We don't want any collisions.
I got oh, my shit's gonna fall over.
Flying so close to the hull is
I
no
got Super Empire and Super Return of the Jedi. So yeah, I want to play those and do reviews of the movies. Yeah, but so Andor finale, it's definitely like the denouement to the climax that was the last 3 episodes. But I mean, there's still good shit in there. I got a cute another year jump. So one thing I was seeing that was like a criticism was like you don't really get to see the broad strokes of the rebellion. Like I said, like them getting their fleet together and all that shit. It's very like kind of the underground spy shit only, really. And then yeah, the 1 year gaps don't really help. There's kind of just like a lot that's left to the imagination. So yeah, basically Luthen's little ginger bollocks informant guy.
Affirmative.
He finds the info from digging into Deidre's files or whatever about the weapon, super weapon that's being built. And he has a scene where he's like negotiating with Luthen, like, you know, this is big news, you know, you gotta help me, you gotta get me out of here. And he's like, yeah, whatever, just tell me. And then like in the next shot you see that he like shot him and Luthen took off. And then when he gets back to his little storefront, Deidre comes and visits him. Oh, because he's like melting all of his radios and shit. Why didn't he just like set it on fire? He put like this, you know, slow melting acid or whatever the fuck on it. He doesn't even like destroy half of it. And then yeah, she comes in there and she basically, they start talking about like the artifacts and shit or whether they're real. And he shows her like this crazy looking like blade, ritualistic blade or some shit. But yeah, basically the jig is up, and Luthen like stabs himself with that shit. But like, wouldn't he have like some kind of cyanide pill? You would think, right? Like, you know, something a little more foolproof. But I guess it would kill the whole rest of the episode, because the whole episode is basically the chick, girl boss, fucking going to. I guess I thought she was trying to rescue Luthen, but I guess, you know, really she's there to like make sure he's dead, so I can't question him. But yeah, she's kind of like one of the only supporting characters that gets like a whole like episode with full backstory and shit. They show like they do the young CGI on Stellan Skarsgård, which I mean it looks pretty good. I feel like that kind of technology, I've said before, like they've really definitely perfected. As long as you have the real actor there, you know, it looks fine. Not when you have fucking Grand Moff Tarkin. We'll get to that. But yeah, dude. So yeah, she has to like go and infiltrate the hospital that she's in, and like I said, she's in full girl boss scowling mode, you know, and she's supposed to be tough, like, you know, she's getting her disguise. Oh, they try and throw in some humor, because, like, she's trying to blend in, like, she grabs a patient, and it's like a old wrinkly alien, like fucking, what was that bitch's name, Maz Kanata, Maz Cantina, with her asshole eyes. That's what it reminded me of. But yeah, she basically, you know, gets all the way to Luthen's spot where he is, and so all she does really is like turn off his respirator, and I thought like, you know, he was gonna like, I don't know, get saved or something. But I mean, that was her way of like killing him, and it's like, I get that they tried to like make you care, you know, really, but the only reason you cared is because Stellan Skarsgård is a good actor and you don't want to see him die. But it wasn't any more emotional because she was the one that had to do it, you know, just because he like rescued her. And it's not even scenes with her and him, it's, you know, younger versions of her. So yeah, I think that kind of fell flat a little bit.
All pilots, bring your weapon systems online. Pilot, track it on your sensors and fire a small volume.
But also, like, I think it might have been more impactful if she like had to like shoot him in the head, you know, just to make it more definitive. It's like, yeah, she turned his shit off, but she also just left his body there, so you know, anything's possible. Could have resurrected him or some shit, revived him. And then yeah, the next episode. Okay, so basically, before Luthen gets killed off, Deidre's there at the hospital and she gets arrested, and then there's probably my favorite scene in maybe the whole show, but she's like, she gets arrested and she's getting interrogated by Krennic, and it's just a really awesome scene where she's like making excuses, and she's like, I should have told you, you know, or should have told someone, reported, you know, all the shit that she was finding or whatever. And at one point he stands behind her and like puts his finger on the top of her head and shit. And her acting, I mean, she's really awesome too. Like, yeah, the show's definitely got like feminist lead, but that doesn't mean I don't like all the actors. Pretty much, the redheaded lesbian, she's not bad. Mon Mothma, even though her character is worthless, especially after this episode. I like her. Deidre, she's cool. I mean, I like, you know, how she's like, turn off the lights, you know, let's do this shit. You know, she's all about business. And the girl boss, like, you know, I like her, especially when she had her hair straight down and she looked like Princess Leia. But obviously it's like a little on the nose with her, you know, scowling and shit. And the mother, Mrs. Fig, dude. She was funny. I didn't even talk about that scene where Deidre, like, told her, like, you know, you better start being nice to Cyril, or, you know, you're only gonna see him, like, twice a year, or whatever the fuck. That was one of the good scenes. So yeah, you know, definitely all the women are good in the show. They're just written fucked up. But then yeah, basically at the end, Krennic tells her, you know, we'll do our best to go on without you. And she's just like, oh fuck, you know. But what I don't get is, like, later on, even though she's getting in prison, like, she still helps the Empire. That, like, I guess that makes her, after they're pushing her towards babyface territory. Cause yeah, basically Deidre tells the ISB or whoever the fuck it is, that, like, to check into old, like, radio frequencies to, like, try and catch the girl. Cause when she escapes, she, like, tries to reach out to Andor and shit with, like, a old, like, Morse code or whatever the fuck. But yeah, like I said, I don't get why does she even give a fuck anymore? I guess maybe she still thought she was gonna get it. But then yeah, so by the chick, like, sending out a distress signal, because they have that information, they're able to, like, use Luthen's fucking half-burnt little radio to, like, see that, like, she's sending out a message or whatever the fuck. And there's, like, supposed to be a funny part where, like, they're like, how were they able to operate this machine or whatever the fuck? And the little operator chick, she's like, oh wow, they've been siphoning Imperial power for years or whatever the fuck. And she's like geeking out over the rebellion and shit. And they all, like, you know, scold her or whatever the fuck. I thought that was pretty funny. So yeah, so Andor and K2SO, they, like, go to rescue the chick. She's in their, like, little safe house or whatever the fuck. And so they're onto them, so, like, the Empire's, like, coming with their own. And it's cool because they have their own little, like, tactical squad with, like, they're kind of in, like, stormtrooper gear, but they don't have helmets and shit. There's, like, the one white dude with, like, the mustache. He's, like, the leader or whatever the fuck. Oh yeah, another thing that was brought up is, like, when you watch this and you watch, like, the original trilogy, it's like what happened to all the diversity, you know? It's like it kind of, there's like a disconnect there, and also with like there's definitely like a disconnect with the tone of the show in Rogue One, and like all the other Disney shit they put out, you know, and then even, you know, elements of the prequels and Jedi, like it kind of just doesn't feel like that aspect of it doesn't feel cohesive, you know. But yeah, it's cool because like they basically go in there and trying to rescue her, and then the lovely little trooper squad go in there, and K2SO comes in behind them, and he's like, there's more shots of him throwing people, you know. That's like those robots' main form of attack is to just pick you up and throw you against shit really hard, which is interesting. And then of course, like, she's not even thankful that she gets rescued. She's just fucking berating Andor and yelling at him, and she doesn't want to go to Yavin. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up already, dude. Like, just say thank you. And even after watching Rogue One, it's like, damn, dude, Andor's whole life is like getting bitched at, dude, the whole time by all these women. It's fucked up. And then yeah, so the last episode, everything wrong with the last episode. It's all about the fucking, all the rebellion, you know, leaders, the bureaucrats and shit. They're so fucking annoying in this episode and worthless. So basically, first they have that scene where Mon Mothma and then they got Saul Guerrero on the fucking hologram line, and they're calling him out. They're like, we know you're on Jeddah, and he's like, no, I'm not on Jeddah. All you spies, they don't know nothing. But they're basically, I guess, just trying to say that he doesn't really trust them, and he's like, you know, an extremist, and they're basically just, you know, connecting it to Rogue One, that he's on Jeddah. And they like, I guess they're like trying to say that they're worried about him because he's like stealing from all these like Imperial freighters and shit. Which, I mean, I guess in a way they're right, because like they did target Jeddah. So I mean, he probably should have left, but he's like, no. And then yeah, the other scene is basically their little council. They're all pissed at Cassian for like taking off, and so it's Mon Mothma, Bail Organa, who I have some like say about this motherfucker. The fucking, what's his name? Captain Draven or whatever the fuck. He's like the tall white dude, little guy that like keeps telling Andor he can't leave, and then he leaves anyway. And then the calamari admiral, whatever the fuck, Akbar's dad, and then the fucking black senator. So her only purpose is to like just not agree with anything and always just be the dissenter, the contrarian, no matter what. Which I guess seems like pretty fitting when you see the people that are like in the Senate these days. But then yeah, so like Cassian's telling him the information she got from the chick about the connection between Jeddah and what's his name? Galen Erso. Gaylord Erso. And of course, like, they don't believe it, and like, because they don't trust anyone related to Luthen or his people or whatever the fuck. And it's like there's multiple scenes of like them having to like defend Luthen and say he's the only reason, we're all here, even though we didn't really see like all that shit being formed, you know. But yeah, we'll take your word for it that Luthen fucking hooked him up with the X-wings and shit. And then yeah, the white senator, he like thinks that Cassian's crazy, and he does it also the same thing. They're both him and the black lady. They're both in Rogue One, and they both do the same shit. You know, they're just disagreeing with what needs to be done. Because I think it's Jin's like trying to ask them for help or whatever the fuck. And then the white senator's like, you know, the rebellion's finished in Rogue One. Like, it's like, what the fuck? Why are you even there when you're like talking like that? Like, I don't understand their purpose, dude. They're fucking stupid. But like, Bail Organa, I'm convinced is like a secret bad guy. Cause like he's also like doesn't really agree with what Cassian's saying, or you know, he doesn't trust Cassian because of Luthen, but like he never has to answer for the fact that he was the one that was supposed to like get Mon Mothma out of the Senate by sending these people. And like they even asked him like, do you know the people that are gonna come get me or whatever the fuck? And he's like, nah, I don't know them, but they're, you know, they're good or whatever the fuck. But like he doesn't trust Luthen, yet he allowed his little pickup detail to like get infiltrated by the fucking lesbian assassin lady. So, and he never, you know, they never question him on that, you know. And it's like, what the fuck? Not only that, but like he's the one that wanted Mon Mothma to make the speech. Like, why didn't he just make the fucking speech himself? He didn't want that heat on him. Like, what a little bitch, dude. And then nobody even like realizes it. And it's interesting, like even in Rogue One, he's like, even though it's Jimmy Smits, it's like, oh, they ask him to like get in contact with his old Jedi friend, you know. And it's like, you know, who could you send? He's like, oh, I have someone I would send with, you know, that I would trust with my life. And he's talking about his stepdaughter. But like, did he send her on that mission because it was like a fucking dangerous mission and she'd die? So I don't know, it's just the way he's portrayed in the show. It's like, why is he such a fucking an asshole about it? You know what I mean? But I mean, you could say the same thing about Mon Mothma. Hers is even more like egregious because like Luthen literally saved her life, but she like has to get her lesbian cousin to confirm whether she thinks that Andor is telling the truth or not. Oh yeah, and there's a cool moment, but I still forget his name. The old evil white guy, Krennic's homie. He's like listening to this like rebellion propaganda. It talks about how like tyranny needs constant attention, wherever the fuck, and it breaks and it leaks and shit. And like a dude comes in to like tell him that he's needed or whatever the fuck. He's like, who do you think's doing this? And he's like, sir, I just work here. And then you see a shot from the outside and he's got like a blaster. And then you hear like the blaster go off. So I guess he felt like even at that moment he already felt the Empire was gonna like fall. That's kind of like a stretch, you know what I mean? Deidre had more faith in the Empire than he did. But yeah, like I said, so Mon Mothma wanted her cousin to like hang out with Andor and not seduce him, I guess, since she's a lesbian, but like get him to talk. And then there's like a little cringy part where like after they're done, like it starts raining, and and the chick, Kayla, whatever the fuck, she like gets off of her hospital bed and she's out in the rain, and the redhead like meets up with her and like takes her to her little shanty and drives her off and shit. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. Let's see where this is going. But then yeah, so basically Andor gets like a little distress call or some shit from a little stooge they've been tracking. And that's like leads into his first scene in Rogue One, so he's going there like the next day. And when he wakes up, K2SO wakes him up and he's like, that man you don't like is here, and it's fucking Organa. And they have like this weird scene where I guess it's supposed to be like a rah-rah speech, I don't know. But he basically like, Andor tells him that like him and Luthen are more alike than he knows. I don't really get how, but okay. But then yeah, after that, like Andor puts on his fucking Rogue One jacket and shit, and he's like strolling through the lobby. He sees that lesbian force sensitive. They nod, so I guess he embraced the force now. He's in it. And you see like a shot of Deidre in fucking jail. The lights go out and she just starts like crying and shit. Like, what the fuck? And it's like a really nice like jail cell too. Like there's like she's got her own little pod, and then like way in the back there's like her bunkmate. It's like one of those little Japanese hotel pods or whatever the fuck. It's too nice for her. But I was like, you little bitch, why are you crying now, you know? She was all about it. And then you see Krennic looking at the Death Star and shit. He's like, yeah, plan came to fruition. There's the shot with the dude with like the mullet and the earring and the kimono. I don't know who that guy is, dude. But they felt the need to like put a shot at him. And then yeah, the final shot is it's back on that wheat field planet where Andor rescued Bix and them, and they left his little robot there. And Bix is on the planet, and she's not with child, I guess. She already had the child, but she's holding their child and looking off into the sunset. I guess supposed to evoke the ending of Rogue One when he blows up. But yeah, she just like took off with this child. Fucking didn't tell anyone where she was going, except for the redhead, I guess. But yeah, overall it's like, because like I said, after I watched Rogue One right after, it definitely enriched the experience having seen all this bullshit take place first. So really awesome show, and you know, I think it did its job in like getting you a little hyped for Star Wars again, you know, like you used to feel. So that was cool. But yeah, so one thing that's cool about Rogue One after watching Andor is it's a nice reward for sitting through all the boring parts of Andor, because now you get all this fucking badass action and shit. And like I think one of the knocks when it originally came out was like, you know, there's all this fan service and that's awesome, but it's like it's not really earned because you don't really care about these characters. And so that's all pretty much kind of fixed by watching Andor first. But yeah, but in a way, there's certain elements that make it worse. Like in Jin, like not a lot of people like Jin or so anyway, but like this makes it even worse because like, you know, here's this hero you've been following that's kind of like been on the fringes of the story, and so you would think the movie like, oh yeah, he's gonna be the hero, but no, he's just taking a fucking backseat to yet another woman. And she like totally like, even like towards the end of the movie, she's the one that like makes the rah-rah speech to the troops, like I said, and she's the one trying to get the fucking bureaucrats to like help her on this mission and shit. But the most egregious scene is when they go to rescue her dad, and after all that happens, and the fucking that stupid ass Captain Draven or General Draven, whatever the fuck, the dude that wouldn't let Andor leave, he like sends some X-Wings to bomb the ship. Like, what the fuck, you dumbass. But anyway, like after all that happens, she's like pissed at Andor because he was like there. He was supposed to like kill Galen, you know, just to make sure. The way fucking Kayla should have shot Luthen. And then yeah, she says, you know, she just like just yelling at him and telling him, you can't talk your way out of this, and you know, he's having to defend himself like, I've been in this since I was 6 years old in this fight. And yeah, like I said, even after all that, she's like, no, you can't, there's nothing you can say that'll make it right. She's just being a fucking asshole to him. And then, yeah, and even in that scene when she doesn't get the support from fucking Mon Mothma's dumbass, and she's coming out, and Andor comes up with all these soldiers, and Andor's like, you know, we knew they wouldn't listen to you or whatever the fuck. And he's saying that because now you have that context of like, yeah, he knows anytime you fucking ask them for help, they're not gonna do shit. But she's like, oh, thanks for the support, you know. She's like being a smart ass about it, but like, they're there genuinely to like fucking help her dumbass, you know what I mean? And then yeah, when I say the fan service is earned, like, even, you know, the ending with Princess Leia and the fucked up Tarkin face that looks even worse now watching it. You know, it's like, you could definitely say at the time, and that everyone did, like, was that really necessary to do that? You know what I mean? But if you really want to like have it flow and lead right into New Hope, then after all watching all the show, then yeah, I guess they do kind of earn it a little bit. But yeah, the Tarkin still looks like shit. And yeah, even like I said, the Darth Vader stuff was earned. Even though that was the one element of fan service that everyone agreed was like badass. But yeah, especially I love that scene where they show his castle and shit, and Krennic goes down there and he's trying to throw Tarkin under the bus and like kiss ass a little bit and like, will you tell the Emperor that I fucking came through with this weapon? And Vader's like, don't be so, you know, assured that, you know, we don't know if this fucking thing is secure or not. And then like Vader's leaving, he's like, oh, so I'm still in charge? And then he starts getting like getting choked up and shit. He's like, don't choke on your ambitions. So that's a really great scene. And then also the ending when they fucking get the plans and the fucking helmets are trying to like take the data tape away, and then you see Darth Vader come out of the darkness and stab up everybody. It's pretty badass. Universally agreed that was cool no matter what. And yeah, I think Donnie Yen was really cool, I think. And the other dude, Baze, he had a cool gun. That's all you need, you know. That's like his character. But I mean, I think they brought like an interesting element, and like it needed, by this point it needed kind of like the Force to like have an element in the story, you know. But they do have those like even in Andor, there's like they have those lines where like
Squadron with everything they've got. Heading towards a Star Destroyer again.
every
Facing
rebellion,
its this time.
you know,
It's okay. Our
begins on hope or some shit,
Well, not fast
and then
enough.
like Jin says that same line in the movie,
Here's now at your
and
location.
Mon Mothma's like, oh.
Keep the convoy safe while the flagship
She doesn't believe
engages
enough to
the
fucking help her.
Leave it to us.
And then yeah, Saul Guerrero, like he's in the movie a lot less than I remember.
Sending in a raider to intercept the
I feel like he's in the show more,
We have to take that raider down.
but yeah, he's funny. It's like Jen,
Get ready.
save the dream, Jen. But yeah, and it's pretty cool when they finally. The movie's kind of like the show where like it takes a while to get going, but once it does, it's pretty good. Like once they fire off the test shot on Jeddah, that's a pretty cool sequence. They're like flying out of there, and the planet's like crumbling around. And yeah, dude, the whole battle on Scarif is awesome. And they're at that like rest point, and then like out of the fucking shadows, the AT-ATs come out. I thought that was pretty cool. The little aliens are freaking out. There's like a monkey alien. He's like a gunner. That guy's cool. And then yeah, I remember they said that they used like old footage, like unused footage from New Hope to have. It's like all the like the gold leader and red leader and shit, like giving their call signs or whatever. Like all those shots you can tell are like from the 70s. But yeah, it looks really awesome, dude. Like I hadn't watched it in a long time, but all the space battle stuff is pretty amazing looking. And then the admiral, he calls for the Hammerhead Corvette, and they fucking push the Star Destroyer into the other Star Destroyer. It's pretty sick. It's kind of a nice like progression. Like in New Hope they blow up a Death Star, but in this one, you know, they blow up some Star Destroyers. So I thought that was cool. But yeah, the whole time I was hating on fucking Jin. I mean, she's fine, you know, she's not bad looking, but I can't really say whether she's a good actress. But like, I guess the only reason it has to be the daughter is so that she can have that moment where she's got her gun pulled on Krennic. She's like, I'm Jyn Erso, daughter of fucking Gay Erso. Whatever the wife's name was. He's not like really. He's like, oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna shoot you. And then Andor pops out. I'd forgotten that he comes back, but I was like, well, he's gotta like come back, I guess. But I forgot that. I was like, dude, no way he dies when they're trying to get the tapes and shit. Oh yeah, and then when K2SO dies, when he's trying to like buy them time to find the tapes and shit. That totally like the droid dying when you originally saw the movie really shouldn't have meant much at all, because I mean, he's kind of funny in the movie, but like it's the totality of it, you know, that makes it a good death scene. So that's like one part that definitely like takes a jump after watching Andor's when K2SO gets shot up. But yeah, and then I love the fact that like you know, Tarkin's gonna blow up the base or whatever to keep the plans from going out. And you know, Jin and Cassian are like, you know, on the beach together. And they have that nice moment. I saw on Twitter today people were like, oh, this scene went from them shipping, because there is that one shot when they're like going down the elevator and they're looking at each other like they might kiss. I think maybe they try to leave it ambiguous. But the meme was like, you know, it started out as like they're shipping and them like, oh, they're gonna ship or whatever, and then it's like, oh, look at this nice platonic relationship. But I mean, yeah, it is nice that they like aren't dying alone, and they, you know, they hold hands and hug each other. Oh yeah, and he tells her that like her dad would have been proud of her and shit. And then the fucking planet explodes, and yeah, even in the original, like, it works, but it's just that much better with the context, you know. And then yeah, dude, the fleet are like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here, and then Darth Vader's Star Destroyer fucking cock blocks them from going into hyperspace. So they all fucking die. I guess that's why Akbar gets promoted, because what's his face died. And then it leads into that scene where they get the transmission, and then Darth Vader's cutting up dudes, chasing them. And then they get off the ship, and then they open the door, and there's a white figure in the doorway, and it's a fucking CG Carrie Fisher. Yeah. And it looks kind of weird. But, you can forgive it now. Because, like I said, they kind of earned it a little bit, so. And then, yeah, like I said, then I had to kind of just watch it. It kind of enriches, like, the first 15 minutes of A New Hope, and then it kind of, the illusion falls apart, because, like, then Obi-Wan doesn't remember ever having R2-D2, and it's like, then it's, shit from the prequels that they couldn't make line up continuity-wise, and then it all just goes to shit. But, I mean, yeah, like I said, I think the success of the show is just getting you a little bit hyped for Star Wars again. So, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I can really only truly get hyped until the day when they're, like, gonna adapt all the 80s and 90s EU novels and shit. Fucking Shadows of the Empire. I want to see I was gonna say Cassian, fucking Dash Rendar, and the Jedi Academy stuff with Katarn and Mara Jade. Until they start doing that shit, it's like I don't know what else they can really do that's interesting. And unfortunately, like, video games are a huge part of Star Wars, I feel like, and that element is like, that's even more concerning, the dip in that realm. So hopefully we get cool Star Wars games again. But yeah, good shit. This has been a banner year for Disney Plus TV, and then it's all about to go downhill with Iron Shard. But yeah, it's a story for another day.
I'll meet you in there. Welcome to Vanguard Squadron. I'm Kyra Kuva. You can call me Gunny. Happy to have you on the team. Let's talk after the briefing, yeah?
You're joining one of the best outfits in the New Republic. Hope you can live up to it. Anyway, follow them into the briefing room. I think our new commander's waiting for you in there.
Advisory. Even if you can't understand young droids, they can understand.
You arrived. Excellent. Ardo, meet our new Vanguard 5.
Oh, the one who saved your skin at Foster Haven. Ardo Baradai, Fleet Intelligence, a pleasure.
I heard they rewarded you with a posting to Chandrila. A real honor. Very safe. But a good pilot shouldn't just gather dust. I needed people I can trust. And I figured you'd want to get back into the action.
Huh. There's no shortage of that around here.
Right. Let's get you briefed. Welcome back to the front line, Vanguard 5. As you've no doubt experienced, the Empire is jamming communications across the sector. I fear these blackouts could be a prelude to invasion. Vanguard Squadron, I need you to split up to solve this. Frisk and Grace, bring our new pilot to the Brental system's borders. The scouts we sent to investigate haven't reported in. Find out what happened to them. Then regroup with your squadron near the planet Cavus. Gunny and Keo, that's where you're headed. If I were still an Imperial, well, I'd send jamming ships there. Knowing the Empire, I expect they're using these jamming vessels to disrupt our long-range comms. They'll have TIE squadrons in tow. Destroy all Imperial squadrons and jammers. Communications must be restored for Project Starhawk's future. When you've succeeded, regroup and return to the Temperance. Let's see how you do, Vanguard Squadron.
Got a moment? Hello. Grace Salia Vatara Sina. Grace, if you like. It's a pleasure. I've been with Vanguard long enough for Gunny to trust me with second position. And she doesn't trust easily. Especially those from Imperial families. Well, everyone finds out sooner or later. Yes, unfortunately, my dear estranged family builds TIE fighters.
Oh, hey! I'm Keo Venzi. Welcome to Vanguard Squadron. You'll do great things with us. Trust me. This is an amazing team. I went from semi-pro racing to fighting the Empire. Quite a change. But everyone in Vanguard lifts up the others. You'll fit
Mega crew, when operating above deck, safety gear must be worn at all times.
Nice to meet ya. Squad calls me Frisk. Only Grace calls me by my real name, and only when she's mad. I know it's not often you find a handsome fella like me fighting for the Rebellion, New Republic, or...
Finally, chance to get acquainted. Like I said, the name's Gunny. Stay sharp, keep your nose clean, and we'll be off to a good start. We had comm blackouts like this right before the Empire invaded Mimban. Lost a lot of friends. But I learned to shoot a blaster.
You ready to go? Just hop in the cockpit. A mission already? Good. I'm not one for waiting around. Got an X-Wing ready for you here. A real beauty if you need... Sorry. The droid's giving me the eye. Little rust buckets are always planning something, right?
Big Six, you are cleared for welding operations.
Ah, the X-Wing. Backbone of the Rebel Alliance and our new Republic. A good all-rounder that'll stand up to any starfighter or capital ship in the Imperial fleet. Systems. Check. Alright. I'm loading in your astromech droid now. Keep an eye on it. Quiet, Tin Can. We got a pre-flight check to do. Radar. Working like a dream. Loadout data. Looking good. Combat display? Check. Primary weapons, charged up, ready to take down TIEs. Throttle and boost, good to go. Hull integrity, never better. You're welcome. All systems go. Vanguard 5, you are clear for launch. Good luck out there.
dig together.
Away we go. Stay close, Vanguard 5.
You remember your mission parameters, Vanguard Squadron?
Find the scouts, smash the jamming ships, and get back before the cantina closes. I think Commander Javes skipped that in the briefing.
Thanks, Ardo. We'll be careful.
Regroup at Cavus once you find our missing pilots, all right? See you soon. Good luck, you two. Our jump point's just ahead.
Hyperspace coordinates calculated.
Engines are hot.
Let's do this, Vanguard Squadron.
This never gets old, hey, Grace?
Never. Let's go.
No scouts showing on sensors. You got anything, Grace?
Negative. We've got to be able to find someone out here. Wait. I've got a Republic signal. Temperance, we may have found them. Heavy interference. Gunny and Keel will take care of that shortly.
We should investigate the signal and regroup with them.
I hope the scouts are all right.
Me too, Grace. Me too. There's our target. Let's slow it down. Ah, heck. Our scouts didn't make it. Empire must have found them first.
If that's the case, where is the Empire? Vanguard 5, scan the debris. Such brutality. Even that astromech got dusted.
Someone really didn't want these scouts getting home. Hey, I'm picking up a second signal. Let's check it out. Follow me. I don't like this, Grace.
I hear you. Something's not right.
If we're lucky, something survived the attack. Stay ready for anything. Wait, that's not a New Republic signal. It's Imperial. We're being ambushed.
TIE fighters, incoming!
Attack positions. Take them down.
jamming ships. If we scan the wreckage for its last known trajectory, it could lead us to the jammers.
That's a heck of an idea. Vanguard 5, scan the debris and we'll watch your back.
That's it. Nice work, Vanguard 5. Let's see. Their path was leading them toward Gunny and Keel's coordinates.
If we're quick, maybe we can cut off the Empire before they find our friends. Marking coordinates.
Hopefully they don't know we're coming.
Let's do this right, for the scouts we lost. Lead the way, Vanguard 5. Whatever comes next, we face it together. Look, 2 Imperial jamming ships ahead. No sign of Gunny or Keel.
That's the source of our comms blackout. Frisk, bomb those jamming ships.
Sure thing, Grace. I'll soften him up. You two finish him off.
Careful! Missile tracking you!
That was too close. I have one on me. They got me.
That jamming ship's done for.
Long-range comms are still scrambled.
This could be better.
Another Imperial jammer destroyed. Great work, Vanguard 5.
Superb.
Let's finish the last of these ties. That'll do.
They locked onto me. Confirmed. I'm hit. Nice one.
That's all of them. Good work, everyone.
Stupid Empire. Try to invade our territory, will ya?
Gunny, do you read me? We just got off 2 jamming ships en route to your location. What's the situation?
Gunny and Keo are in trouble.
We need to help them now. Head toward Cavis.
Let's move, Vanguard 5.
Finally! Oh, you're right on time. Let's finish off their ties.
those anti with ties.
Then we take them out too.
That Cassandra just jumped out of the system.
Running scared, I bet.
Good stuff.
Enemies tailing you.
That's a takedown.
That's all the TIE fighters.
That'll patch up your hull and stock up your ordnance. Follow me.
In formation.
Vanguard, we have an Imperial cruiser protecting the last of the jammers.
Taking down these ships ain't gonna be easy.
Not while the cruiser has a missile launcher.
We'll keep our countermeasures ready. What's our play?
If we take out the jammers first, we can call the Temperance for reinforcements.
That's why you're in charge, Gunny.
Vanguard 5, focus on the jammers.
Absolutely.
Here we go.
Don't want to strike.
Closer.
Right here and ready to go.
Empire is locking onto me.
They locked onto me.
Good now.
On your wing. Enemy fighters locked on.
They have a lock.
Alright, that was pretty cool. It'd be nice if there was like some sort of motion control, like using the joystick or whatever. That's what it needs. It needs a joystick. But yeah, it's pretty sick.